of this class is going to be when they see us again. When they see us, ... again. How many of y'all saw that series, When They See Us? Anybody? Raise your hand. You saw When They See Us. When They See Us. Everybody else that didn't see it, y'all out the spirit. Y'all got to be about to get spoiled. Because I'm going through it.
Spoilers.
So you going to hear all kind of stuff. So you was like, dang, I'm going to watch that on Sunday? You might want to go upstairs and do something else because I'm going through some stuff. All right. So the name of this class is what?
When they see us again.
When They See Us Again. So this is all going to go into this whole thing is going into the Matrix. I want to break that movie down. Sorry, wrong movie. They're like, what the hell that title got to do with that? All right, no, but we gonna deal with this mini-series, the When They See Us. Everybody understand that that's based on actual events?
Yes, sir.
These are real people. These things really happen. So I want you to go on YouTube for me, officer, and then I want you to pull up the trailer for that series. Look, you can't even get nowhere. Look, you got the Central Park prosecutor. As soon as you open it up, it's already going. Yeah, that's good. Let's see the trailer. Turn it up.
Is my mom here?
It's just us. You and us. Who you were in the park with?
I don't know names. I just got lost.
Where did you see the lady?
One lady.
The female jogger was severely beaten and raped. Every black male who was in the park last night is a suspect. I need all of them.
What's going on with my son?
Your son was involved in rape in Central Park.
No, wait a minute. Wait a second.
They saw you rape the lady.
I didn't see a lady or hit anyone. I didn't see any lady.
Kevin.
I didn't see any lady.
I want to see my son right now. Right now.
Whatever they said I did, I didn't.
Zoning on the road.
Nothing these boys state matches the central facts of the crime. All we need is for one to tie this whole thing together.
These tapes are not as clean as the state would have you believe.
There is injustice happening here.
There is not one shred of evidence.
Imagine the frenzy of these teenagers.
Ripping off her
They
clothes.
are innocent of these
They
crimes.
are guilty.
They're doing us like this.
What other way they ever do us?
And I haven't looked back.
I've been having these dreams.
Since I
keep hearing these footsteps. And they coming closer and closer. That's me. Coming to bring you home.
They said if I went along with it, that I could go home. And that's all I wanted.
The police will do anything. Lie on us, they will lock us up, they will kill us.
This is my life.
I don't think we should admit to something that we didn't do.
Okay, we keep fighting.
Heavy series. I watched that thing. Well, let me ask y'all some questions. Let me ask the brothers. How many of y'all saw that again? Just that's it? Oh, y'all brothers over there. I'm just spirit over there. Y'all got Netflix?
I'm too busy.
You got Netflix and you didn't even...
I saw the original. Yeah, I saw the original.
Okay, no, I want y'all to see this.
Yeah.
Y'all saw the documentary, right? Right. Out of the brothers that watch this, put your hands back up. Put your hands back up. Hold them up. The brothers that watch this. Then you put yours down. Keep them up. I'm still doing something. I want to know out of y'all that watched the whole thing, right? Oh, You the only one? Oh, just y'all two watch the whole thing? Did you cry? Oh, okay.
The whole night.
Did you cry?
I cried in the kitchen with my wife on my teeth.
Oh, okay, all right. That's the best way to cry, man. Make sure she don't see you.
That's right.
Y'all brothers. Y'all sisters watched it? How many of y'all watched it?
The whole thing.
The whole thing. Did y'all cry the ones that saw it? It was terrible, wasn't it? All right, all praises. So, I want to start off with, some of the things a lot of people may know, some people may not know what I'm going to be going into. Let me get Exodus 23, 1 and 2.
The book of Exodus, chapter 23, verse 1 and 2. Thou shalt not raise a false report. Put not thine hand with the wicked to be an unrighteous witness. Verse 2. Thou shalt not follow a multitude to do evil, neither shalt thou speak in a cause to decline after many to wrest judgment.
Read 2 again.
Thou shalt not follow a multitude to do evil.
So what did the brothers do? The reason they got in this mess is because they followed a multitude. Now in their mind, they saying that, well, I wasn't going in there to do evil, but you followed some people, and some of those people were going in there to do evil. But it says not to follow a multitude to do that. And this is exactly why those brothers ended up. If none of them had deviated from what they were doing, they wouldn't have been in this mess. But because they chose to follow a multitude to do evil, they ended up in the middle of some mess. Proverbs 1 and 10, please. And that can happen very innocently to any of us, because again, I can say this about myself. I was in a situation where I didn't go with my mind, and I wasn't following them, but I was already there. It was a party across the street. This is back when I lived with me and Officer Mayer and his brothers. We all stayed together. And it was a party across the street. The people was moving. They had already pretty much moved out, but they said, well, we still got some time on the lease and we throwing a party. This is what we being told. They threw a party, a going away party. Okay, cool. Going away party across the street. Went over there, they partying, got music going, it's banging, people all over the place, it's a party, a house party. And then it's a whole empty house, so there's nothing in there, because they already moved all the furniture, so they having a party. Okay, went over there, across the street. I'm just kind of looking around, seeing who there, and then I'm trying to leave because I had, I guess I gotta age myself a little bit. I had my pager went off, and it was somebody that I wanted to talk to. I'm like, beep, beep, beep. Oh shoot, who is this? Let me go to the phone booth and call them back. Yes, I was going to the phone booth. I know some of y'all don't know what a phone booth is. They're like, what is a phone booth? So I was going to the phone booth to return the phone call. And then one of my partners was like, just wait a minute. I'm like, well, I want to go talk to who this person is. It was somebody, I can't remember who, but whoever it was, I wanted to talk to him. And he's like, well, just wait. I'm like, oh, I'm about to go. Okay, just wait. Wait too long. Next thing I know, all I see is police coming through the doors. I'm like, what the heck is this? Look outside the window, all you see is the street lined up with police cars and this and that. And I'm like, if I had left when I was gonna leave, they would be going to jail and I would be sitting across the street with Officer Mayer and them laughing like they was doing when we was going to jail. We get going, I'm going to jail. I'm like, it's just about it. But then sometimes you get caught by listening to somebody or your friend dragging you into some stuff that you're like, why did I do this? And that's what happened with these brothers. They're like, man.
That's what happened with Corey, for real.
Oh, I ain't even, see, wait. Read that in Proverbs.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 1, verse 10. My son, If sinners entice thee, consent thou not.
If they come to you and like, look, just come on, do this with me, brother. Just come on over here. Don't go with them. Just go with whatever you was doing. Go back with your first mind. The one boy, he was just coming out of school. He going to play his trumpet. He go home, drop off the trumpet to go run and follow them. And they already going. He not even know he's coming. He just saw them and like, ooh, let me go see what they doing. Instead of just minding your business. His friend turned to him like, listen, let's go shoot basketball. I want to go see what they doing. Okay, now you see where they got you. Go ahead.
If they say, come with us, let us lay wait for blood. Let us lurk privily for the innocent without cause.
And that's what some of those people was doing. They was throwing rocks at cars that was riding by while they was in there. They was a teacher, or I believe it was a substitute teacher or a teacher got beat up and put in the hospital. And it's like, wait a minute. And right then, nobody said, okay, this is not what I came in here for. I'm leaving. They continued on with them, even though they didn't do anything. But like I heard one of them describe it, it's like, you know, you're a kid, it's like you like moths to a flame. You couldn't help it. You had to go and see what was going on. It's like, okay, but read on.
Let us swallow them up alive as the grave, and whole as those that go down into the pit. We shall find all precious substance. We shall fill our houses with spoil. Cast in thy lot among us. Let us all have one purse. My son, walk not thou in the way with them. Refrain thy foot from their path.
So that's all they had to do was refrain their foot from the path those other brothers was walking down, but they couldn't, something in their mind wouldn't allow them to do that. Go ahead.
For their feet run to evil.
Because there was people in there whose feet were running to evil. And now they're following the multitude to do what? Evil.
And make haste to shed blood.
So, and then some of those people in there made haste to shed blood. Now, I want you to go to Psalms 94 and 20. Now, how many of y'all been in a situation where you knew you should have went with your first mind, and you ended up in the middle of some mess? You like, why didn't I just do this stuff I was going to do in the first place? Okay, well, that's what happened to them. But they teenagers. These brothers is from 14 to 16 years old. Go ahead.
The book of Psalms, chapter 94, verse 20. Shall the throne of iniquity have fellowship with thee, which frameth mischief by a law?
So now, what did these people do? They framed mischief by a law. They brought those boys in there, knew they was underage. They knew they were underage, and they still questioned them like they was adults. They still took them, didn't have their parents. Some of them, they didn't have their parents there. Questioning these young brothers for hours and hours on end with no food for at least almost 2 days straight. No food, no sleep, just all questioning and threatening and telling them all these, you know what I mean? And one of the brothers, they went in there, the first thing they did, well, I'll get to him in a minute. But this is what they did. They did what? They, read that again?
Shall the throne of iniquity have fellowship with thee, which frameth mischief by a law?
That's what they did. They framed mischief under the guise of law. Come on.
They gathered themselves together against the soul of the righteous.
And they gathered themselves together against the souls of the righteous. Those boys had not did anything wrong, but they gathered themselves around them because why? They needed it because it was a jogger in Central Park, a woman. She got raped and left for dead. They bust her head open, and just so happened the same night these boys was in the park. Now when you watch it, none of the evidence, timeline, anything ever lined up. Nothing lined up. Their DNA was nowhere. Nowhere around the scene. Now this is what I found interesting, is that you're gonna label them, it's like when you listen to the prosecutor, you want it both ways. So at one moment you say, well, they're a wild wolf pack, and they all doing all of this crazy stuff. And then the question gets asked, well, why don't they have any DNA on the scene or on them? Why is nothing, no mud on the boys' clothes from all this? You say they all around this woman raping her and doing all this stuff. And you say, and it's noted that she lost 3/4 of her blood. So that means blood is everywhere. Why do they not have one drip of blood on them? Now this is a wild wolf pack. Why don't they have one drip? Oh, well, no, they weren't by her head. But wait a minute, you said that it was a wild wolf pack. They should have been all over her. But you don't have one piece of DNA, not a piece of hair, not nothing, not a skin piece of nothing connected to them brothers over there in the scene at all. And then when you watch, just another thing you watch, where they're having an interview and they're talking to the brothers. They said they took them back to the scene to show them the scene and then told one of the boys, oh, your shoe was untied. And when he bent down to try to tie his shoe, they tried to bump him into the evidence so his DNA could be in there. I mean, they really was trying to destroy these brothers.
And you know what else they did to show the mischief is they actually had the different time. They said we were here at this time, we were here at this time. They said, well, this time does not match up with that time. Well, how about we change it? They kept trying to change the times. And one of the boys said it happened way over here when the park was right here. So that goes back into the same mischief that was going into this case.
Yes, sir. So now let's go to Matthew 22 and 15. So all this time they have these young boys in the room interrogating them for almost 2 days with no food, no sleep, threatening, hidden, doing all kind of, these are men dealing with little boys. Like who got children? Anybody got like a 14 to 16-year-old? Do you think that your 14 or 16-year-old can handle what you saw in that? They probably would fold too, right? Because they're children. 2 days not eating, grown men punching you and telling you they're gonna do this to you and that to you and let you say what they want you to say. At some point, you're gonna break. And they broke. Even they have like Navy SEALs and Special Forces soldiers, they go out and they train them to deal with torture and what you call it? Interrogation. But it's always known that everybody's gonna break at some point. It's just when. Even that man that's been trained not to break, they already know that, listen, okay, from this point to this point, he may make it 24 hours or he may make it a week. But at some point, he is going to break. Same thing's gonna happen with these little boys with no training. They just boys, regular, living their life, playing instruments, being regular school kids. So now, read that. So what was the whole point of what they was doing? Was this.
Matthew chapter 22, verse 15. Then when the Pharisees and took counsel how they might entangle him in his talk.
That's all they wanted to do. They want to figure out how can we entangle these young brothers in their talk? Can we get them to say some stuff to incriminate themselves? And then we'll go from one room to the other, separate all of them. Now, mind you, only 2 of these boys, see, I can't even, because that one boy, he wasn't even a part of that yet. So at this point, none of the 4 boys, because at this point they only dealing with 4 boys, they don't even know each other. So what they do, they walk in with a picture and say, yeah, Kevin said you did such and such. Who the hell is Kevin? Then go and then get you to say something about Kevin because they said Kevin said that you did something. Now, what you gonna say about Kevin? Kevin did it. Then go back to Kevin. Antron said you did it. Oh, you go, what you, no, but this one in Raymond did this. And then they feeding them. And then, okay, Raymond did it. They go back to Raymond. Yeah, this one said you did. And then they keep building it room by room. Get you to say something about that one, show you pictures. They don't know each other. Now they saying these boys just happened upon a woman that don't know each other, and for some reason they all locked eyes and said, yeah, sweaty white woman. I gotta have that. That's what they really think that they sold something that you just gotta have them. You want some of that sweaty dog hair? You like, yeah. All right, so give me his Psalms 56 and 5. See, he knew. He like, yeah, you right. Psalms 56 and 5.
Yes, sir. The book of Psalms, chapter 56, verse 5. Every day they wrest my words. All their thoughts are against me for evil.
So they had these brothers, and everything that they were saying, the prosecutor, the DA, the head detectives, all they was thinking was evil. How can we trap these boys up? Telling them, listen, you just tell us this and you get to go home. It's nothing. Oh, you gonna go home. Just tell us, just do this. We need you to, I'm helping you. They had the one cop come in there and beat you up. And then come in and stop him from beating you up. I'm like, listen, I'm not like them. I'm here to help you. Listen, just tell us what we need and you can go home. And every one of those 14-year-old sons, daughters, whoever y'all got, they would fold. You do this to them for 2 days, they are going to fold. So, 2 Maccabees 7 and 1. But through all of this, there's light at the end of the tunnel.
The book of 2 Maccabees, chapter 7, verse 1.
Come on.
And it came to pass also that 7 brethren with their mother were taken, and compelled by the king against the law to taste swine's flesh, and were tormented with scourges and whips.
That's how they, what it says, they were, what is the word I'm looking for? Compelled. Compelled means forced, meaning they trying to force them and they beating them to try to get them to do this thing, right? So now I want you to read on.
But one of them that spake first said thus.
No, jump down to verse 3. I'm sorry.
Verse 3. Then the king, being in a rage, commanded pans and cauldrons to be made hot.
Because they wouldn't do it. They're like, no, listen, we're not doing it. So you know what? We're going to take it up a notch. This is what the king was going to do. Read on.
Which forthwith, being heated, he commanded to cut out the tongue of him that spake first, and to cut off the utmost parts of his body, the rest of his brethren and his mother looking on.
So they killed and dismembered him in front of his other brothers and his mother. And this is, he's like, listen, you want to defy me, you don't want to do what I want you to do? This is what I'm going to do to you. And this is the position that they were trying to put those boys in. This is how they looking at it. They're not looking at it like, we just having a conversation and talking. Those brothers came out and said, listen, I thought if I didn't do this, they was going to kill me. They thought their lives were on the line. They like, I have to do this. This is the position they was in. 24. And then now that's bad cop. Now, 24.
Verse 24. Now Antiochus, thinking himself despised, and suspecting it to be a reproachful speech, whilst the youngest was yet alive, did not only exhort him by words, but also assured him with oaths that he would make him both a rich and a happy man, if he would turn from the laws of his fathers, and that also he would take him for his friend and trust him with affairs.
So what did he do? He came in there after the bad cop beat you up. Listen, I'm not like him. Listen, look, I'm going to make you rich. I'm going to make you happy. Look, we friends. Listen, just do what I need you to do. Everything going to work out for you. You're going to get to go home. And this is what we read. This is what you're seeing in that series. It's the same people. So, Lord, now let's go to Proverbs 3 and 31. But this is the problem that the brothers did not know. They didn't understand this. The brothers didn't have the scriptures.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 3, verse 31. Envy thou not the oppressor, and choose none of his ways.
That's not what I want. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Give me Sirach 12 and 10. Huh? Yeah.
The book of Sirach, chapter 12, verse 10. Never trust thine enemies.
What?
Never trust thine enemy.
Had they instilled that, the parents had instilled that into those boys, they never would have trusted a word those devils said. They'd have been like, no, yeah, you just telling me this because you're not going to let me go home. But because they didn't have that in them, they're like, look, I can make a deal. Look, this is a good one. Now, what we should be teaching our kids is no good one. They should know, like, no, I'm not listening. Yeah. Oh, yeah, prove it. For real? You're going to let me go? Well, let me go and give me a phone call and maybe we'll talk. Oh, you want to still talk to me here in handcuffs, beat me? No, you're not. No, I don't trust you. No. But we have to make sure that our kids understand who the enemy is and never to trust them. Those boys got to the point they got put in a position where they thought, oh, okay, the good one came and saved me. And you hear it like, because it's too much. But one of the interviews, the brother was like, because he came in there and stopped the other one from beating me, I felt like I could trust him. And it's like, no, you never trust your enemy. They working together. They working you over to get you to the same point, destroy. And we got to make sure our kids know this. Like, how many of y'all when y'all watched it, did you watch it with your kids? Let those kids see this. They need to see it. They need to, because how many of them go to schools where it's Edomites there and other nations and stuff? They need to see this because they need to know when they're looking at those people, then yeah, I'm going to deal with you justly because I have to according to the scriptures, but I'm never trusting you. I'm never going to put you in a position to where because I trusted you, you can hurt me. They got to know that because if they don't know that, like us, we know that. Y'all know that? Yes, sir. But y'all have to know that through experiences, through living in this, like, okay, now I know. Well, us as parents, we should be able to just teach them that now so they don't have to bump their head. Like, no, listen, you don't have to go through this. Now, I'm going to show you now so you know better, so you don't have to make the mistakes and mess around and you look up. You trusted somebody you shouldn't have been trusting. You trusted somebody that shouldn't be trusted, period. Just because he came in there and talked sweet to you, just like iron rust, so it's his wickedness. Now, you can wipe some rust off, but that rust is coming right back. He might come in there and tell you, oh, we buddies. Look, I'm on your side. I just want to help you go home. I'm with you. Just sign your name right here on this statement that you don't agree with. And you can go home. All right, go ahead.
Yeah, that's messed up because what they did to the youngest, they did good cop, bad cop. But if your kids is in these scriptures, it's going to be bad cop, bad cop. Ain't no good cops. So, especially if they Edomites. Especially. But I wanted to bring out a scripture in Isaiah chapter 32 and verse 5. 32 and verse 5. Because what happened in that movie infuriated me to a level of I'm happy that I was in the confines of my own house. Let's read that though.
The book of Isaiah chapter 32 verse 5. The vile person shall be no more called liberal.
So what happened in that movie is it's teaching our kids that the vile person will no longer be called liberal. I'm not going to look at a Edomite and say, that's the good one out of the bunch. You're vile like the rest of them. Read on.
Nor the churl said to be bountiful.
Read.
For the vile person will speak villainy.
So if you know who this person is, who this Edomite is, he's going to speak villainy. Especially if you're a child of the Most High God. He's going to speak villainy. So when you, like what officer said, you got a child, especially you, so he right up in that age when he can get caught up in some stuff, you know what I'm saying? So your kid automatically knows he's going to speak evil instantly. Even if he ain't, assuming. Read.
And his heart will work iniquity.
It's going to work iniquity, read on.
To practice hypocrisy.
To practice what?
To practice hypocrisy.
You going home. You going home? Listen, I'll give you a Coke. Here, put a Coke up there. Give him a burger. You going home. After you just smack me up and down the damn room, hit me, kick me, and then you come in and try to save me, and then we go in the other room, both of y'all in there clapping hands when I sign this paper. That's the devil right there. Read on.
And to utter error against the Lord.
Read.
To make empty the soul of the hungry. And he will cause the drink of the thirsty to fail.
So as much as them young boys, those was boys.
Them was not, they didn't know nothing. Them was kids. And they was crying, begging to go home. And the enemy seen them as evil, devil monsters. Like a wolf pack. How can you look at a bunch of young boys and call them wolf pack? And you can look at them, tell they innocent, they ain't been through nothing. Like, you know the difference between a young boy who really about that and then a young boy who really ain't, and he just was in the wrong place at the wrong time. But they ain't trying to differentiate that. All of them was monsters. Just from what? Who they were. Read on.
The instruments also of the churro are evil.
So now they got their little plots and their plans and they devising things. All right, you gonna go in, you gonna hit it. Then I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna clean it up. I'm gonna be the hero. Then after that, we gonna get them to sign these papers. Then you got that evil, wicked woman who was constructing the whole thing. Read.
He devises wicked devices to destroy the poor with lying words.
So his devices was part of that interrogation of them young boys. They lied to them young boys and then made them lie. Made them appear in a place that they wasn't even at. Like, hey, you know Kevin said, who is Kevin? You know who Kevin is. Like, wait a minute, well, Kevin said you did it. Well, your impulse as a young kid, I ain't do it, Kevin did it. That's your impulse. So they played on these young men's minds. And these grown Edomite monsters preyed on these young men. Read it from the top, verse 7 one more time.
Verse 7. The instruments also of the churro are evil.
Read.
He devises wicked devices to destroy the poor with lying words. Even when the needy speak of right.
Even when they say, I didn't do it, I wasn't there. What lady? Who's Kevin? Who's that? I don't know. I wasn't there. I'm just here to support my boy. I don't know nothing. Even with all of the words, they still force these men, these young boys, to admit to something that they didn't do. And then not only that, one of the parents joined in on the wickedness. That was crazy. That was crazy.
Yeah, like they said, he said the parent joined in. What did they do? The parent, the father, had a record. They take him out in the hall. They come with his file. Yeah. Oh, you better help us out, cause we can make problems for you. So he went in there and he like, okay, hey son, lie and tell them whatever they want. But I didn't do it. But yeah, lie and tell them whatever they want. And that's what happened. So this whole thing is just crazy. So where was we at?
Sirach 12 and 10.
Sirach 12 10.
So what happened after that? Go to Habakkuk 1 and 4.
The book of Habakkuk, chapter 1, verse 4.
The reason I was asking, did you watch it, but did you watch all of it? Because you got to get to that last one. You got to get to that last one. The last one is that's the one that, I mean, when I'm sitting there, and I could take the first three. It was just some regular BS that I'm used to people going through. But the last one, because I sold my gun, I don't got a gun no more. Sold the gun. But I'm telling you, I wanted to go out and hurt and tear people up watching that. And I get out because I'm in my truck, so I just got it playing while I'm riding around doing my job. And I'm like, I get to that and I'm trying to fight the tears. I'm like, nope, don't you, nope. I mean, I had to fight it. I ain't get there. I'm like, I made it, I ain't weak like you're I'm not playing. No, but because it's like the story is so, and then you gotta say, it's only like 40 minutes or whatever they showing of that part. But that 40 minutes was so much stuff happening that you just like, what the heck happening to this little boy? And he a boy. It's not like, oh, this is a, man. No, this is a little boy going through all these things. And for me, as a man, it took me back to when I was about that age. And I'm like, what the heck? What would I do in that situation? Like, what can you do in that situation? You a 16-year-old boy, you going through all this stuff? They put you in prison with men? Put you in prison, and I don't know who, but I ain't gonna ask you to prison. But you go to prison, and you go to prison for rape, you automatically walk in the door with a target on your back. They put that little boy, not just putting him in jail, putting him in prison, they put him in prison with a target on his back. Meaning the second you walk through and step through the doors, the guards already got it out for you. The guards got prisoners that's up under them that's ready to get you anyway. And he had to go through this every day.
It's a high-profile case.
And he was in jail for 14 years. Going through this every single day. To the point where the only time he missed it when he like, just put me in solitary. That's the only time he wasn't getting that part of it. Just put me in here by myself, butt naked. No, this is all I could do. Because as soon as I step my foot out, I'm just catching it from every angle. And on top of this, you didn't do it. Imagine that. You don't even know what they're talking about. And you in jail as a 16-year-old kid getting towed up. Orchestrated by the guards, so you're thinking, all right, well, at least they're going to try to keep some order in here. No, they with it too. They setting it up. They open your cell for them to come in there to get you. That last episode, I'm telling you, woo-wee. I might still go get me somebody. Oh, no, I'm going to let the Lord do it. Woo, boy, oh boy. All right, where was we at?
Habakkuk chapter 1.
Read that.
Habakkuk chapter 1, verse 4. Therefore the law is slack.
That's what happened. The law was slack because even the way they approached these brothers was out of order for us. Illegal, let me say it the right way. Illegal with the interrogation. Illegal with not having their parents around. Illegal with them not knowing and understanding their rights that they could have asked for a lawyer. All of that was illegal. The law was slack. The law that they saying that they come to uphold is they were breaking it at the same time. Come on.
Therefore the law is slack, and judgment doth never go forth.
So you never get the proper judgment when you're dealing with these demons, and that's what happened to these brothers. They didn't get the proper judgment. These brothers ended up getting locked up behind some stuff that they didn't even know anything about as kids. Now, 4 went to juvenile. They, till you're 18. Then once you go to 18, you go to regular prison. So they caught some of that. But even I saw an interview with them where they was like, I didn't even know what anybody else went through because they all assuming that, well, we all went to jail, we all got the same thing. Until they saw the movie. And they said, we didn't know that he went through that. We didn't know that this is what it was like for him. Because, yeah, I thought my time was horrible, but look what they did to this boy. Because he was 1 year older than you. He had to go to regular prison. He didn't get to do the juvie. I'm telling you, when you watch that thing, then you gotta watch it. You can't watch it just once. When you watch it twice, you pick up on other little cues. Like when they all getting ready to go to court, the 4 boys was already in the one room, get prepared for the court case. Then the boy that ended up going to prison, because he couldn't get out on bail, so that means he had to do his whole everything while he's waiting for trial. He's in Rikers Island. In prison with these men that's beating on them, every day, right? So guards beating you and all kind of stuff he's going through, right?
Can I say something on that also?
Hold on, let me finish my thought. So when he gets back to they get ready for their court case, he comes in and you can see kids, I didn't catch it the first time. When you watch it the second time and and connect those dots, and now they told you the story is not, you watching it wrong, you don't know all of those details. When you watch it the second time, now I know those details. And when you see the look and the way he walked in the room, and he asked him, he's like, y'all all in juvie together? He's like, man, I wish I could be over there with y'all. And the look on his face, he just looking like, yeah, it's like, I get it, but it seemed like he must be assuming that they getting what he getting. But he can still see, he just like, but he didn't say it, he just looking like, wow. And when you see what he was getting, oh my goodness. Anyway, go ahead, what you had to say, sir?
Yes, sir. Just to familiarize y'all, don't think that the movie is trying to dramatize what happens to you for those who catch a rape case. No, that actually happens in prison. I've seen and heard many of those who have a rape case where tortured and beat up all the time. It goes on even today. That's all, sir.
Yeah. I mean, just like when you was telling me about your rape case when they was beating you. No, I'm joking.
Stop it.
No, he got off.
Stop it.
Go to Psalms chapter 89, and I want you to read from verse 40.
Psalms 89, 40. The book of Psalms, chapter 89, verse 40. Thou hast broken down all his hedges. Thou hast brought his strongholds to ruin. All that pass by the way spoil him. He is a reproach to his neighbors.
This is what the brother was going through when he was locked up. He said everybody that saw him was a reproach. He was a reproach to everybody. Because that's the only thing they said is worse than going to jail on a rape charge is a child molestation charge. So it was only one step more he could have went, and he was just killed him. Like he wouldn't have made it out of there. When they keep calling that brother as a walking miracle, they're like that brother to even be alive and functioning as a person right now. That brother is a walking miracle. After what he went through. Go ahead.
Verse 42, thou hast set up the right hand of his adversaries. Thou hast made all his enemies to rejoice.
They rejoiced. Like he went to a new prison, they waiting on him. Like he'll get a transfer. So you go from Rikers Island to Attica. But as soon as you get to Attica, they already got the news. The guards telling the prisoners, and they come in and let you know. Yeah, we've been waiting on you. Go ahead.
Thou hast also turned the edge of his sword, and hast not made him to stand in the battle. Thou hast made his glory to cease, and cast his throne down to the ground.
So what was the glory that the brothers lost? They lost their childhood. Them brothers went right straight from being boys to being men. Or not men, still boys, but you put in the position of a man. You lost your childhood, you lost your glory. You lost it first time or going to Coney Island and getting on, because you know they got Coney Island. It's going to Coney Island. When I say Coney Island, I'm talking about our Coney Island. Going to their Coney Island with the rides and all that. They lost that. It's like, man, I thought I was, they'll think they said they was off on like Easter break or something.
One of them was playing trumpet.
Yeah, the boy, he wanted to be a trumpet player, this and that. He had been playing trumpet. They lost all of that stuff. Whatever they thought they was going to do or could have done, gone. They lost their glory. Go ahead.
The days of his youth hast thou shortened. Thou hast covered him with shame, Selah.
The days of his youth was shortened, meaning the second they bang that gavel, your youth is over with. You lost all your teen years. That's gone. The one boy he went in at 16, he got out at 30.
Damn.
And he was innocent. That means you missed your teens and your 20s. You spent all of that behind bars. That's crazy. Like I said, I gotta be honest. I don't know where I'd have been through that. I'd probably been gone. So I had to provoke somebody. Look, I'm gonna do just enough. Right. I wouldn't kill myself, but I gotta do just enough so you can kill me. So all right, cool. So I ain't gotta do it.
Snitch or something.
No, I gotta get somebody now because they done beat me up. I'm gonna get somebody good so they can come back and get me.
Right.
But I'm gonna get you good though. You getting it?
Take somebody with you.
Like I wouldn't kill him, but you gonna get it good enough to where when you heal up, I know you gonna get me.
Right, there you go.
You like, yeah, he done shanked me like 37 times. I live. I'm gonna get him 38. All right, cool. All right, I'll wait on my 38. Let me get Psalms 88:15.
Psalms 88:15.
But this is the spirit it put on me. Like watching it, I'm like, oh, some blood got to shed.
Instantly, you put yourself.
The book of Psalms.
Instantly, you put yourself in his shoes, because I thought about it. My wife asked me. She was like, "Did you imagine a little Yuri like that?" No, I imagine myself. He not even at that age. I imagine me being 16 and being accused of something you ain't do. That alone pisses you off. But now you accusing me of something I didn't do at risk of my life, and I got no power. I gotta pay somebody else to defend my innocence when I know I ain't did nothing. That alone, that's what made me like, really feel everything that's being said, because it's in the point of view of a young Israelite man. Like that's a horrible feeling. That's what made me really feel this movie. Like, whew, I gotta prepare my son for the worst.
And can I add something? And to add to that shame, when they got out of prison, they had to register as sex offenders. They couldn't get certain jobs. They couldn't form relationships. And people who knew about them would shame them, calling them rapists, calling them all types of names. So they had to carry this stain once they got out of prison. That's it.
Yeah, no, I saw an interview with a lady, and she was talking about, she was interviewing them. She's like, you know what? From my perspective, all I got is like what I see in the news. Y'all went to jail, y'all was tried, went to jail, now you out. I'm like, I'm not even thinking about all the details of what you did when you got out, how you survived, what you went through while you was in. It's like, you know, we seeing it from over here, and it's just like, oh yeah, man, they railroaded them boys. Man, free them boys! And then you go back to your life.
Right.
Then you're like, oh, they out. You don't know all what they went through between freedom boys and now they out. Right. Then once they got out, you still living your life. You don't know that the one dude took him to a restaurant, and he was explaining to me like, listen, now that you're a felon, you can't work or have any contact with another felon. So let's say if you're working here in this restaurant, that dude right there is a felon. So if they put you on the same shift with him, you're going to jail. You're like, what? Yeah, you're going to jail. You're going to go finish up the rest of your sentence because they put you on the shift with him and he's a felon. He's like, so just in case you're thinking of not putting that you're a felon on there, okay, well yeah, I couldn't get a job, so I didn't put that I was a felon. Well now, if you working or you got any contact with another felon, you're going right back to jail. Like,
yeah, they never told him that either.
Nobody told him. He had to put him up on it. He like, listen, let me tell you, because the whole system is structured to get you cycled right back up in there. So, will you read this?
Yes,
Psalms 88 and 15?
Book of Psalms, chapter 88, verse 15. I am afflicted and ready to die from my youth up. While I suffer thy terrors, I am distracted. Thy fierce wrath goeth over me. Thy terrors have cut me off. They came around about me daily like water. They compassed me about together.
And that's what happened to the one boy. Every day they came round about him. Every day. You 16. All of y'all brothers over here was 16 before. Go back to your 16-year-old self and then put yourself in that situation. Not your, oh, I'm grown, shoot, I done did this. Right, you know how you be looking at it now, oh shoot, I done took him, gave him the Bruce Lee chop, and I done did this and slung him against the wall. He'd have stuck to the wall too, he wouldn't even can't, he'd have stuck. Yeah. Then I'm gonna do this, and then I'd have hit that other one, and then his punch hit him. Yup. Right? So I'd have ducked.
Just like that.
No, you wasn't gonna do nothing. You would have given there your 16-year-old button there, got toe up, raped, and all kind of stuff would have happened to you. And you would just been.
They shanked him too.
Oh, I ain't even get to the shanking. I ain't even get to they shanked the boy. I ain't get that far yet. No, let's not go ahead. So, now go to Genesis 39, because we see the same thing happen in the scriptures. That happened to our forefather Joseph. He was accused of rape and falsely imprisoned. So this is not a new thing in the earth. This thing has happened before.
Genesis 39, what verse?
Start at 7.
The book of Genesis, chapter 39, verse 7. And it came to pass after these things that his master's wife cast her eyes upon Joseph, and she said, lie with me. But he refused and said unto his master's wife, behold, my master wotteth not what is with me in the house, and he hath committed all that he hath to my hand. There is none greater in this house than I. Neither hath he kept back anything from me but thee, because thou art his wife. How then can I do this great wickedness and sin against God? And it came to pass, as she spake to Joseph day by day, that he hearkened not unto her, to lie by her, or to be with her.
She coming to him often. She said day by day. And every day you go like, yeah, come on. Next day, no, I ain't mess with. No, come on, yeah. Every day you gotta go through this. Come on.
Verse 11. And it came to pass about this time that Joseph went into the house to do his business, and there was none of the men of the house there within. And she caught him by his garment, saying, lie with me. And he left his garment in her hand and fled and got him out. And it came to pass, when she saw that he had left his garment in her hand and was fled forth, that she called unto the men of her house, and spake unto them, saying, see, he hath brought in a Hebrew unto us to mock us. He came in unto me to lie with me, and I cried with a loud voice. And it came to pass, when he had heard that I had lifted up my voice and cried, that he left his garment with me, and fled, and got him out. And she laid up his garment by her until his Lord came home. And she spake unto him according to these words, saying, the Hebrew servant which thou hast brought unto us came in unto me to mock me. And it came to pass, as I lifted up my voice and cried, that he left his garment with me and fled out. And it came to pass when his master heard the words of his wife, which she spake unto him, saying, after this manner did thy servant to me, that his wrath was kindled. And Joseph's master took him and put him into prison, a place where the king's prisoners were bound. And he was there in the prison.
So that's all we want. So even when you look at the history, Joseph was a young man when he went through this. Although he was older than them, but all this started from him when he was, what, 17? Yep. So this is not a new thing in the earth, right? I got an article inside those things. Let me see the article. So no, not that one. Did I put it in there? Give me that first thing. No, that's the one I want. No, down. Rape dream. Listen, we had a situation even arise in the school, this is way back, where a sister came to me and told me that she had a dream that somebody in the body raped her. And I'm like, and she like, yeah, and I'm talking to her, she's like, yeah, you know, what y'all gonna do about it? I'm like, what do you want me? What are you talking about? But I had a dream that the brother raped me. Or no, something, I don't like this and I don't like that. And I'm like, because the brother was riding with the sister to the school. And then she like, then I brought her up to the table, we talking, and she's like, yeah, but what about my dream? What about your dumb dream? What you think I was telling the brother raped you in your dream? Your dream sounds like you obsessed with the brother. So she's sitting there, she upset, she crying. Right. And I'm like, listen, this is foolishness. I ain't about to, what you think I'm gonna do about your dumb dream? I'm gonna ignore it. So, I didn't say that, but this is my thought. So I'm like, yeah, whatever, sis. She never came back. All praise to the Most High. So, read this.
Man in prison for 28 years after woman dreamed that he raped her to be freed after another man confesses. Clarence Moses L. was convicted in 1988 and sentenced...
This is 1988. Those boys have it in 1989.
And sentenced to 48 years in prison for raping and assaulting a woman when she returned home from a night of drinking. When police initially asked who attacked her, she named the man who later confessed.
So wait a minute. She initially knew who did it. She's like, yeah, it was such and such. But then she had a dream. And it became you.
More than a day after the assault, while in the hospital, the woman identified Moses L. as her attacker, saying his face came to her in a dream.
She told them this. I dreamed it was him. And they said, oh, okay, white woman, you dreamed it was him? We're gonna lock him up.
Moses L. has long claimed he was innocent, but his efforts to appeal his conviction were unsuccessful, in part because Denver police threw away DNA evidence from the attack.
Have you ever heard of investigators throwing away DNA evidence? But since they said, oh, y'all ain't coming back to us with that DNA crap, not this time, we getting this Negro. You know they didn't say Negro. Yeah, we getting this darky, whatever they call it. Yeah, that's old school. We getting this porch monkey. Go ahead.
His break came in December 2013 when another man...
1988, 2013, he got a break.
15 years.
L.C. Jackson sent him a letter in prison. The letter said he couldn't believe Moses L. was accused of raping the woman because he had sex with her at the same time that night.
So you got another brother that's already locked up like, wait a minute. They accusing you of raping the woman that I was with? You know, I can't believe it.
So was he locked up for rape?
Both of them was like, I don't know what the other one was locked up for. I forgot. Scroll down. Well, we pretty much got all the bullet points in the top part. So basically, ended up, it was the original dude that she already knew it was and said it was, and until she had her magnificent dream and it became somebody else. But show you what the police will care about. We just gotta lock a black man up. We don't care. You said, oh, it wasn't him? It's him? What's your evidence? I dreamed it. Okay. Oh, we don't got no DNA. Throw that away. Because when we looked at it, it didn't match him. So throw that away. Now we got him. No DNA. You say he did it, that's the end of it. And the brother did 28 years in prison. Man. 28. Some of y'all not even 28 in here. Who's under 28? A whole lot of y'all. Now, he was in prison longer than you have lived for some stuff that he didn't even do. And the point is that this is always the case with us. It's always the case with our people, especially our men. They always want to destroy us. Now, get this next thing I got in there. Khalif Browder. Who knows about him? Khalif Browder. Let's see this. Now, what happened to the first boys was 1989 in New York. This is 2010 in New York. So somebody might say, well, they probably were like that. But then they changed, and now New York is sweet. And actually, I was talking about it with somebody earlier. They got Cuba Gooding Jr. in jail right now on some stuff like this. Right now in New York, in jail. With his Oscar. They're like, yeah, you can have your Oscar in jail.
Damn.
Even though they got videotapes that showed it, he didn't do what he being accused of. No, we locking him up. So that brother went to prison, not went to court and then was found guilty. No, he went in for questioning and ended up in prison. Never went to court. Just, you in prison. Because we kind of messed up on the paperwork. We don't know what we did, what's happening. And he was trying to let them know, listen, I'm not even supposed to be here. And you saw, that was actual footage of what they were doing to him because they have cameras in there. That's actual footage. That's not, oh, well, they reenacting. No, that's him getting slammed up against a wall. That's him getting, when you see that mob of men in the one room, and you see the one guy finally get out after everything he was going through in the one room, that's actually him. That's what he went through. Now, remember, that brother was in there for taking a book bag, which even he didn't do it, but that's the reason they have him in there. Now, imagine, y'all saw what they was doing to him, right? What do you think they did to the boy that went in there for rape? What do you think they did? So, that whole thing is crazy. It's crazy that our brothers and sisters got to go through this kind of stuff, but the Most High is a mastermind. I'm just telling you straight out. He is a mastermind because it's not by accident that these things happen. Because especially when you know like I went to the story with the article of the brother that got locked up for a dream of rape. What happened? The guy that actually did it was locked up, said he did it, and that's how they even started being able to look into it to get him out of there, right? Well, the same thing happened with these boys. If the brother, Corey, if Corey's story, because Corey had already been in there some years, going through the hell he was going through, and he finally came up for parole. They told him, yeah, you can get paroled, but you have to admit guilt. He says, no, I'm not going to say I did something that I didn't do. So he didn't get paroled. And he kept going before the parole board. And they kept, every time, the only thing they want to hear him say is, say you're guilty, and we'll parole you. And he would never do it. Showing you the strength of him. He like, nah, send me back to the wolves. I'm not telling you I'm guilty. Send me back. And then they got to the point, I'm not even going to the parole hearing, because it's nothing gonna happen. Y'all gonna ask me to tell you some stuff that's not true. So, after all the hell he was going through, one of the white security guard that was the savior starts helping him and getting him a chia pet and all this different stuff while he's in. But anyway, he has him cleaning like one of the day rooms or whatever, so he can get out of his solitary, just so he can move around a little bit. There's TV in there, so he can do some stuff. And so he ends up getting to a fight with a dude in the room because he was listening to something, the dude coming in and turn the TV down. He's listening to some DMX or something playing. And he come in there and he turned it down. He went back and turned it up. So now they get into a fight. And which is a very crucial part of all of their lives, because that boy that he ended up, or a man, or whatever the brother was, that he got into a fight with, is the actual dude that raped the lady in Central Park. That's how you see the Most High hand move. This is real life. This is not, I would think that this is a movie, the way that played out. The dude that raped the woman that got him in jail is the dude he having a fight with in the day room. But he don't know it yet. Now the dude that he fighting in the day room know why he in there. He know that, yeah, well, you ain't here because I raped that woman and they put it on you and them other boys. But he ain't saying nothing. So, but we'll come back to that. Told y'all, I'm spoiling this thing. Y'all ain't see it, shame on you. I'm spoiling it. Alright, so let's get Job 19:7. Because I'm telling you, that's why I asked y'all brothers first. Did you cry? Because I know if you see it, it's gonna put it on you. You know, you may be good, you may be, like women, they might be able to make it, some of them make, because you can't really put yourself in that position, because it wouldn't even happen to you. You can't really, you can probably think about a son, or, try to do it a different way, but all of you men, you can look at that and say, okay, what if that was me? Go ahead, Job 19.
The book of Job, chapter 19, verse 7. Behold, I cry out of wrong, but I am not heard. I cry aloud, but there is no judgment.
Well, this young brother sitting there crying. He just in his cell. He gotta cry. It's like nobody hear him. Nobody hear him. His mother can't even come see him. It's like you just in here by yourself. Can't get a letter. You can't get nothing. You just by yourself in the midst of these wolves. Imagine that. You just snatched away at 16 and thrown into the wolves and by yourself. Nobody, you don't even get notes from somebody. You don't get nothing. You just gone. And that's the position they had that boy in. Go ahead.
He hath fenced up my way that I cannot pass, and he hath set darkness in my paths. He hath stripped me of my glory and taken the crown from my head. He hath destroyed me on every side, and I am gone. And mine hope hath he removed like a tree. He hath also kindled his wrath against me, and he counteth me unto him as one of his enemies. His troops come together and raise up their way against me, and encamp round about my tabernacle.
And that's what would happen. They'd be waiting right outside his cell, right? Encamped around his tabernacle, waiting to get him. Waiting for him. It's just, that boy went through hell. I'll tell you, he went through straight up hell. But, and we cried. No, I didn't cry. that hold on to mine. But you know, people cry for this, and it's like people like we gonna get to this part because I want to read some of the comments on some of these, because you can go to any other, because now all of those videos that's been on there forever now got all new comments because this movie just came out, and you read the comments, all you see is anger, sadness. People are just so, this thing got everybody that's seen it ticked off. You even got Edomites in there like, yeah, that's, you know,
We the devil.
my people. I don't know about them. The white woman, she said she had a black husband. She like, yeah, you know, my people, you know, yeah, they the devil the Bible speaks of. But, I mean, it got people pissed off. So, but the point of the whole thing, and I thought when I was thinking about it, I'm like, well, wait a minute. Why don't we cry for Christ this way? Brother saw a movie about a young brother in New York, right? And like, oh, young brother, you saw what he went through, and it touched you in a way where you like, man, it brought you to tears. It was horrific what he went through. But then we read about Christ all the time. It was like, oh yeah, they did this to him and did that. Oh, they crucified him. Oh, and he said, Eli, I forget how it go. But he said, and it's like, oh, we just read it. La 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 la. Nobody crying. Nobody just, whatever. He went through much worse. But nobody seems to cry. Well, I wonder why that is. I know why it is, but we're going to get to that. Let's get, let me get 1 Corinthians 13 and 12. We're going to touch on why we don't cry. But we going to, but let's touch on why we don't.
The book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 13, verse 12. For now we see through a glass darkly.
Because we see through a glass darkly, meaning the only way we can connect to what happened to Christ is by reading it. There's a difference. With that, you got to see it. It's like seeing and reading, two different things. And that's why it's like, oh, when we saw what happened to Corey, it's like, oh man. Read that, finish that.
But for now we see through a glass darkly, but then face to face.
So then we're gonna see face to face. So now let's get Zechariah 12 and 10. I gotta go fast because time is slipping away, and it's really slipped.
Zechariah 12 and 10.
Come on.
The book of Zechariah, chapter 12, verse 10. And I will pour upon the house of David and upon the inhabitants of Jerusalem the spirit of grace and of supplications, and they shall look upon me, whom they have pierced, and they shall mourn for him.
So he said that the time gonna come when he comes back that people are gonna see him, and not only that, you gonna know what happened. We gonna know. Oh, we said crucify him, or we did this, or we saw when he got pierced, and now when you see, now you gonna mourn. Read.
And they shall mourn for him, as one mourneth for his only son, and shall be in bitterness for him, as one that is in bitterness for his firstborn. In that day shall there be a great mourning in Jerusalem, as the mourning of Hadad Rimon in the valley of Megiddon. And the land shall mourn.
So the point is that day when you get to see what happened with Christ, he said, oh, you're going to mourn. And you're going to mourn like you had this thing, seen this happen to your firstborn. You like, look at this. And that's the way you're going to mourn. So, yeah, I know it's like, oh, yeah, I cried. Oh, Corey, he went through some stuff. No, he said you're going to mourn when you see what happened with him. And he said you're going to see. So that's going to be the real mourning. But that's the reason why. Because we didn't see anything. We just reading it. Matthew 26, 57. I got to speed up because we gonna run out all the way out of time. Matthew 26, 57.
The book of Matthew, chapter 26, and verse 57. And they that had laid hold on Jesus led him away to Caiaphas, the high priest, where the scribes and the elders were assembled. But Peter followed him afar off unto the high priest's palace, and went in and sat with the servants to see the end. Now the chief priests and elders and all the council sought false witness against Jesus to put him to death, but found none. Yea, though many false witnesses came, yet found they none. At the last came 2 false witnesses, and said, This fellow said, I am able to destroy the temple of God and to build it in 3 days. And the high priest arose and said unto him, Answerest thou nothing? What is it which thou witnessest? Answerest thou nothing? What is it which these witness against thee? But Jesus held his peace. And the high priest answered and said unto him, I adjure thee by the living God that thou tell us whether thou be the Christ, the Son of God. Jesus said unto him, Thou hast said. Nevertheless, I say unto you, hereafter shall ye see the Son of Man sitting on the right hand of power and coming in the clouds of heaven. Then the high priest rent his clothes, saying, He has spoke blasphemy. What further need have we of witnesses? Behold, now you have heard the blasphemy. What think ye? They answered and said, He is guilty of death. Then did they spit in his face and buffeted him, and others smote him with the palms of their hands, saying...
So what are they doing? They spit in his face and beat him up. That's the same thing happened to Corey, but he got much worse than Corey. He got way worse than Corey. Matthew 27:1.
Matthew 27:1. The book of Matthew, chapter 27, verse 1. When the morning was come, all the chief priests and elders of the people took counsel against Jesus to put him to death. And when they had bound him, they led him away and delivered him to Pontius Pilate, the governor.
They took him to Pontius Pilate, the white man. Now go to John 15 and 12.
Book of John, chapter 15.
So their whole thing was to take him to be put to death, and he was put to death, right? But watch what he said right here. Watch this.
Verse 12. This is my commandment, that ye love one another, as I have loved you.
He wants the brothers and sisters to love each other the same way he loved us. Read.
Greater love hath no man than this, that a man lay down his life for his friends.
He laid down his life for his friends, not for something he did. He laid down his life for what we did. Parallel. Now go back to Corey. The only way Corey got caught up is because he was just trying to protect Yusuf. He wasn't even implicated in none of this stuff. He went down to the precinct because they was about to throw his friend in jail, and they asked him, listen, you just want to go with your friend, and come right back? He's like, yeah. He's the one that ended up catching it the worst, and he wasn't even supposed to be there. He wasn't even a part of it. And they just said, you know what, that's another black kid. And you know what, the other one, his mother came and got him? Just use him. And make him lie and beat him until he succumbs to what we want him to do. And he ended up with the worst out of everybody. Like the other ones did like 6-7 years. He did 14 years in men's prison. And he wasn't even involved at all. They wasn't even looking for him. But he laid down his life for his friend. So now go to Deuteronomy 28:33.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 33. The fruit of thy land and all thy labors shall a nation which thou knowest not eat up, and thou shalt be only oppressed and crushed always, so that thou shalt be mad for the sight thou see.
He says, so through this oppression, when you see your oppression, it will make you mad. Ecclesiastes 7:7. So that's what happened when we saw versus reading about Christ and seeing what happened to Corey. We saw it, so it made us mad. We didn't see what happened to Christ, so it's just words.
Ecclesiastes chapter 7, verse 7. Surely oppression maketh a wise man mad.
So now, give me the D.L. Hughley thing. And y'all bear with me. I know the class probably gonna start up real soon, but I want to get through this, and I don't got a lot more. So I want to kind of finish it. Y'all with me on this?
Yes, sir.
All right.
All right, over the weekend I watched When They See Us, Ava DuVernay's 4-part series on Netflix. It was both the most beautiful and sad thing I've ever seen. It is the story of 5 young boys, 14 to 16 years old, who were accused of rape and assault of a white jogger based on little to no evidence at all. There was no physical evidence that connected those boys to the scene. There was no eyewitness evidence that connected them to the scene. They happened to be what all black and brown parents fear, the wrong place at the wrong time. And their lives were turned upside down. Complicit was a legal system and powerful people that decided that these boys should be the example. And all of those people who were involved, from the district attorney to the prosecutor to even a businessman in New York, have all gone on, even despite these boys' trials and travails, have gone on to great success. Donald Trump became president. The district attorney, the prosecutor, became a best-selling author. Somebody else became a teacher at Columbia. There is nothing that you could accuse black people of that people will not believe. Nothing. Even absent evidence, not one shred of physical evidence placed those boys in the scene. A scene that bloody and that brutal with no evidence, nothing saying that they were there. Later on, the man who came forward, whose evidence was DNA was everywhere, he came forward, and they still couldn't say that those boys hadn't done it. I was reading CNN, and they had an exhaustive list of all of the men. They did an exhaustive study, and it talked about how black people are more likely to be falsely accused and adjudicated than any other race. And that is because when they see us, they see monsters. I asked Jay, who works on our show, to put together a list. He had 5 minutes to do it. He was able to come up with 92 names. Now, I can't read them all because we have commercials to run. But some of the ones that pop out are Ed Johnson, 1906 rape, Thomas and Meeks Griffin, 1913 murder, the Scottsboro Boys in 1931, Ed Brown, 1934 murder, Arthur Ellington, 1934 murder, Henry Shields, 1934 murder, George Stinney, 1944 murder, Lena Baker, 1945 murder, Reuben Carter, 1966 murder, Dewey Bozella, 1977 murder, Clarence Brantley, 1980 murder, Grover Thompson, 1981 stabbing, Troy Davis, 2011 murder. And these happens in all regions across the country. Now, these are people who somebody put at a scene and put to jail based on little or no evidence, because all you have to do is say a black person did something and people will be inclined to do it. The only thing they don't believe is that we went to school, or that we work hard, or that we're honest, or that we love our families. You can't believe that. But any horrible thing you accuse black people of, you can get away with it, and they'll do it. Those boys lost their lives because they became what that system decided they should be, monsters, and they weren't. They were children. You sent a 16-year-old boy to Riker, to Attica in a maximum security prison. You ruined their life. And you know what you did? You gave them $41 million. Do you know that Erin Andrews, a white woman, somebody saw her through a peephole, and she got $50 million. So breaking 5 black lives doesn't mean anything. Seeing a naked white woman, everything. And every one of those people who prosecute the prosecutor, Donald Trump, and the district attorney, all those people all profited from it. They sold books. They became president. They became teachers at Columbia. I don't think it's enough just to ask that we boycott that woman's books. I think she should be indicted. I think she should go to jail. I think she should suffer the same thing that they suffered. You saw those children. You didn't see children. You saw monsters, and you made them that. And you contorted them to do it. And you did it in spite of all the evidence saying, no, here's the thing I don't understand. Science says we did do it. Science says we didn't. You can say whatever you want about us, and people will believe it. Right now, Donald Trump is the president of the United States of America because he said he wasn't born here, and people believed it absent evidence. They believe the worst about us. I said this before, and I mean it to be true. The most dangerous place for us to live is in white people's imagination. The movie is called When They See Us. I suggest that you all see it. And when they do see us, what a lovely day it'll be. Because they will finally get to see that we're no less human, no less loving, no less fearful, no less flawed than anybody else. It'll be a great day in America when they do finally see us. All right, that's a little note from the GED section.
See, the thing that, and that's good that he upset about it, but we got to understand this. Get that Isaiah 46:10, because like I told y'all before, the dude, so I didn't finish it, the dude that he ended up having a fight with, the dude Corey, had a fight in the day room with, is the actual dude that did the crime that he's in jail for. But he didn't know that at the time. Time passed, he ends up in a whole other prison. And this dude see him on the yard later, years later. And he like, the heck are you still doing in here? And by this time, now the dude had found God. Well, I mean white Jesus. He found white Jesus. White Jesus told him, tell the truth. So he get to talking to him, and they having a conversation on the yard or whatever. He's like, look, I'm not mad about the fight, none of that. They just talking. And so that put it in the brother's mind to say, you know what? I'm going to go confess, because I did the thing that this brother is locked up for. So he ends up going and confessing. But like I said, had Corey taken the plea, the deal, the parole, and admitted guilt, yeah, he would have gotten out. But he would have gotten out as a felon that couldn't go certain places, had to register as a sex offender. The other boys, nobody would have been exonerated, because everything was hinged upon that dude confessing. And then what ended up happening, what was so funny, well, I say funny, but ironic, the dude that actually did it, it wasn't like that was his first rape. He was a serial rapist. And he raped in the same exact way, in almost the same exact area. So like they would find the women tied the same way he tied that woman. Done the exact same way he did that woman, that's how they found other women. Nobody thought to even go look for this dude, because they said, no, those 5 boys did it. And guess what he did? He was still free. So he went out and committed another rape and ended up killing some people. So not only did they do a disservice to those boys by locking them up for something they didn't do, but because they said y'all did it, they stopped looking. And this dude was able to keep raping and raping to the point where he ended up killing somebody. That's how he ended up in prison. But read that, Isaiah 46:10.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 46, verse 10. Declaring the end from the beginning, and from ancient times the things that are not yet done.
The Most High sees and knows everything from the beginning. He already knew every step of the way, what was going to happen, how it was going to happen, when it was going to happen. He already knew. And he already got things in place. He's moving spirits to do what he wants. That's why. Look what's happening. Which we're going to get to some comments. But you know what? Scroll down. I didn't even look at these comments, but I guarantee you, let's see. Wait. Let's see. Read some of these comments.
Okay. The most dangerous place for us to live is in white folks' imagination. Next one. The reason they see monsters when they look at us is because they're monsters. It's projection of their inherent inferiority. Those beasts are sick.
Come on.
Damn, DL, you always bring it home. This is so painful and real. Next comment. There's nothing that you can accuse black people of that people would not believe. Nothing. So powerful and painful to hear because it's so damn true. I told my white coworker to watch it, and she said, I don't want to watch it because it will upset me. I said, good, it's supposed to. The names. I got emotional when DL read the names. Yep, she should go to jail, every one of the enablers.
Wait. Now go back up. Go back to the right. That's the woman right there. See that says New York Times? Click that. And I don't want to see her stupid, I was about to curse. I don't want to see her stupid video. Pause it. I don't want to hear nothing they about to say. I just want to see the comments.
Now take it.
This is commercial.
Go to the comments.
In my hand.
Yeah, he can't yet. Okay, now scroll. I want to see the comments. I just want to see. I didn't look at this. I don't know. Let's see. She should have reached out to them.
She should reach out to them. They are victims just like her. Power of you being white.
All right, skip this one. Go on. I want to see another video. I want to see something with them, because then the comments are so There's so many. Go ahead, go back. Don't go, just go back. Let me see. Scroll down. I want to see those. Wait. Go up. What did that say? Yeah, click that one. Let me see that one. Let me see the comments. This is well, she was the lead detective in this. Go ahead.
Top one. I wonder how many other innocent people she sent to jail that don't have a documentary made about them. The state of New York should investigate all of her other convictions because she probably lied about them as well. They weren't awarded over $40 million for a fabrication. Linda Fairstein, Dad, should have pulled out ASAP.
All right, keep going. Wait. Hey, you gotta kind of, I'm just looking around. You filter.
Her book sucked. She should have been dropped a long time ago. And the devil should be revealed. Linda, your time is up. You will reap what you sow.
All right, that's good. But the point is, if you keep watching any of these videos and reading the comments, people are supremely mad. There's people talking about how they couldn't stop crying. There's people talking about how they just want to go and do something. And the reason I read this scripture is because the Most High, he's a mastermind. Why? Look what's happening. We're talking about it. We're talking about it what? In a time when the truth is running through the earth. Guess what? Now, after your family members see that and you slide them a flyer, they might be a little more prone to look at it.
That's right.
Like, well, you know what? These damn devils, let me see this flyer. You're right. They are Esau. What do they say about Esau? They gonna get killed. Oh yeah, they might listen now. Why? Because the Most High is creating that environment. I mean, you can see his hand and even how everything played out for them boys to get out of there. It wasn't like, this is not a coincidence. I know you go to a whole nother prison and ended up bumping into the same dude. Not only is he the same dude that committed the crime, he's the same dude that the reason why we can even have this conversation is because we had a fight in another prison. And then that dude turned around and was able to confess, went into such great detail that they like, we know it's you. Let's take your DNA. Oh, it's you. Your DNA is everywhere. All the DNA we kept trying to pin on them that we couldn't, it's all you. You telling me that ain't the Most High? The Most High orchestrated all of that. And why? Because he's going to push for what he wants, which is he has to wake his people up. Our people, you know how hard it is. I know y'all know. You telling your people, listen, you know the white man is the devil, right? And they like, no, see y'all, here you come with that racist stuff. Now I'll talk to them after they see this. You saw it? Yeah. You know the white man the devil, right? Yeah, you right. He's the devil the Bible speaks of. I know I never read it, but I heard y'all say it one time. Oh, you been watching videos? Yeah, I'm watching videos now. So go to Romans 12 and 17.
Romans 12.
They like to call it divine intervention.
So now, remember I titled the class, When They See Us, ... again. Well, now let's get to the again part, because this is the fun part right here.
The book of Romans.
This is when it gets interesting to me. Go ahead.
The book of Romans, chapter 12, verse 17. Recompense to no man evil for evil. Provide things honest in the sight of all men.
See, telling you how to, listen, be honest with all men. Don't go evil for evil. Go ahead.
Verse 18. If it be possible, as much as lieth in you, live peaceably with all men.
Get peace with everybody. This is what Most High, the message you wanted us to have. Why?
Dearly beloved, avenge not yourselves, but rather give place unto wrath.
Don't avenge yourself. Just take it quietly. Go ahead.
For it is written, vengeance is mine. I will repay, saith the Lord.
He said, because I don't want y'all messing this up, because I'm getting every last one of them. That's why I'm telling you to take it easy, just be nice, deal with the people, because I don't want y'all, because when I don't want y'all messing up the body count. He's like, because when I come to get them, I want to make sure every last one of them that I'm planning to get is there. So y'all just take it easy, be nice, live with them, because vengeance is mine. I'm tearing some behinds up when I get to him. He's like, oh no, I'm getting in on this, because, understand, he had to watch. Like, we got to watch the movie, right? He had to watch the actual. He saw it all, right? And not just that case, every case. And he been sitting there. Angels, yeah, you see that one? Yeah, Yep, don't worry about it. We getting there. Almost there. He's like, when it's time to pop, he's gonna pop. So now, go to Isaiah 42:10. Isaiah 42:10. When it's time to go, oh, he's gonna go. And they don't like it when he rise up. They think it's nice now. They're like, oh yeah, see, nothing's happening. Yeah, they'll see. Come on.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 42 and verse 10. Sing unto the Lord a new song, and his praise from the end of the earth. Ye that go down to the sea, and all that is therein, the isles and the inhabitants thereof. Verse 11. Let the wilderness and the cities thereof lift up their voice, the villages that Kedar doth inhabit. Let the inhabitants of the rocks sing. Let them shout from the top of the mountains. 12. Let them give glory unto the Lord and declare his praise in the islands.
Now, so far, what are you hearing talking about? Just singing and praising and, oh, just give the Lord the glory. And, well, let's see why. Why is he saying all of this? Go ahead.
Verse 13. The Lord shall go forth as a mighty man. He shall stir up jealousy like a man of war. He shall cry, yea, roar. He shall prevail against his enemies. 14. I have long time holding my peace. I have been still and refrained myself. Now will I cry like a travailing woman. I will destroy and devour at once.
This is why I'm telling you, oh, sing. Because, when you see what I get down, y'all gonna sing and praise me. Because the stuff I'm doing, oh, it's going down. Oh, y'all gonna think about this story? Y'all ain't gonna be thinking about that when I'm doing my thing. Y'all gonna be like, oh, yeah. Look what, oh, you see what he, oh, man, look at me. Ooh, we, ooh. He ain't sing about that thing. Sing. Praise. Go to Isaiah 63. Watch this. You're like, oh, I'm done watching. At this point, watching is over. I'm getting in there. I'm coming back like a mighty man. Watch what I do.
Book of Isaiah, chapter 63, verse 1. Who is this that cometh from Edom?
He letting you know exactly where he's going to be coming from. He like, I'm coming from Edom. Come on.
With dyed garments from Basra. This that is glorious in his apparel, traveling in the greatness of his strength. I that speak in righteousness, mighty to save. Wherefore art thou red in thy apparel, and thy garments like him that treadeth in the wine vat? I have trodden the winepress alone, and of the people there was none with me. For I will tread them in my anger, and trample them in my fury, and their blood shall be sprinkled upon my garments, and I will stain all my raiment. For the day of vengeance is in my heart, and the year of my redeemed is come. And I looked, and there was none to help, and I wondered that there was none to uphold. Therefore my own arm brought salvation unto me, and my fury, it upheld me.
What you gotta ask yourself is building up, because he be watching everything. And you're like, no, when I get my chance to tear loose, I'm tearing some behinds up. Come on.
And I will tread down the people in my anger.
He letting you know, I don't want you to mistake. He said, I'm going to tread down what? People. Not, oh, I'm destroying, and you can kind of think, oh, well, he's just destroying buildings. No, he said, I'm treading down the people. Go ahead.
And I'll make them drunk in my fury. And I will bring down their strength to the earth. I will mention the loving kindness of the Lord.
Wait a minute, what happened? All that killing and went to, I will mention the loving kindness of the Lord. It was like, oh, that's so loving and kind that you allowed me to go and kill all of these folks. Oh my goodness, that was so beautiful and sweet. Go ahead.
And the praises of the Lord, according to all that the Lord hath bestowed on us, and the great goodness towards the house of Israel, which he hath bestowed on them according to his mercy, and according to the multitude of his loving kindnesses. For he said, surely they are my people, children that will not lie. So he was their Savior. In all their affliction, he was afflicted.
Wait a minute, everything we went through, he's like, oh, it's like I'm going through it too. Everything. So that ain't just, because we think about it individually, like, oh, everything I went through. No, that means everything I went through, he went through, his fathers, his mothers, everybody. He's like, no. Every little thing that all of my people went through, I felt it. And that's why I'm tearing behinds up. Go ahead.
And the angel of his presence saved them. In his love and in his pity, he redeemed them. And he buried them and carried them all the days of old.
So now, let's get some more. Because this is the happy time. This is the happy part of the class right here. So now, let's get Ezekiel 25 and 12. See, because he's not just going to come and tear everybody up. Because then it's like, well, you're going to feel a little empty. You're like, oh, shoot, I mean, yeah, that's good that they all tore up. I sure wish I could have got a piece. He's like, no, I already know. I'm going to give you a piece too. Go ahead, read that.
Ezekiel chapter 25, verse 12. Thus saith the Lord God, because that Edom have dealt against the house of Judah.
See, he keeps naming them by name, right? Go ahead.
Have dealt against the house of Judah by taking vengeance, and have greatly offended, and revenged himself upon them. Therefore thus saith the Lord God, I will also stretch out my hand upon Edom, and I will cut off man and beast from it, and I will make it desolate from Teman. And they of Dedan shall fall by the sword. And I will lay my vengeance upon Edom by the hand of my people Israel. And they shall do in Edom according to my anger, and according to my fury. And they shall know my vengeance, saith the Lord God.
He said, no, I'm not going to allow you to go in there based upon your fury and your anger. Because we'll be like, oh, well, you know what, Bill at the job wasn't so bad. He's all right. You know, he did give me that day off that time, but he did make me work that Saturday, but he was okay. You're like, no, because y'all soft. Y'all going to go in there according to my anger. That's how you going to go in there. You going to go in there with the mercy I'm going to put on you, meaning you ain't going to have none. You're going to go in there and tear behinds up. He said, because I got to let you get some. I know you're going to want some, so I'm going to give you some.
I'll take some.
And I'm going to take me some, too. Thank you. I appreciate it. Jeremiah 51:19.
Jeremiah chapter 51 in verse 19. The portion of Jacob is not like them, for he is the former of all things, and Israel is the rod of his inheritance. The Lord of hosts is his name. Verse 20. Thou art my battle axe and weapons of war. For with thee will I break in pieces the nations, and with thee will I destroy kingdoms.
He said, I'm going to use you to tear them up. I'm going to use you to destroy kingdoms. I'm going to use you to break down nations. He said, I'm going to let you get your hands dirty. Now, let's go to Obadiah 18. We're almost done. I just got a couple more things.
The book of Obadiah, chapter 1, verse 18. And the house of Jacob shall be a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame, and the house of Esau for stubble. And they shall kindle in them and devour them, and there shall not be any remaining of the house of his Esau, for the Lord hath spoken it.
He said, I'm going to let y'all loose, and there won't be any of them left. They will be wiped out of existence once I let y'all loose. Because I'm going to believe, like I said, he's going to put his anger and his fury on us to go and apply it to these nations. Micah 5:7. These are the things I'm telling you. When I read this stuff, this will make me say, I got to stay in the spirit. I can't go out. Nope, I don't want to do no part of no sin. Don't tell me about it, because I got to live to see this. I got to see it. I got to be able to be a part of this. Go ahead.
The book of Micah, chapter 5, verse 7. And the remnant of Jacob shall be in the midst of many people as a dew from the Lord, as the showers upon the grass, that tarrieth not for man, nor waiteth for the sons of men. And the remnant of Jacob shall be among the Gentiles in the midst of many people, as a lion among the beasts of the forest, as a young lion among the flocks of sheep, who, if he go through, both treadeth down and teareth in pieces, and none can deliver.
What can a sheep do against a lion? Get him full? I mean, I don't know. You can't do nothing. You have no defense. And he said, that's the position I'm putting them in. They're going to have no defense against what you're coming with. Can't do absolutely, can't even hurt you. You can get a whole slew of them, and this is like tickling you. And you're like, no, now you devour them. This is the position he's trying to put us in. 2 more scriptures. Let me get Job 20:4. So if this don't help you with the wound of watching our brother Corey Wise go through what he went through, our brother Kevin Richardson, our brother Antron McCray, who else we got? We got Yusuf Salam, and what's the other brother?
Hispanic.
Yeah, Raymond Santana. Those are all our people. So this should give you a little help watching that. Go ahead.
Job chapter 20, verse 4. Knowest thou not this of old, since man was placed upon earth, that the triumphing of the wicked is short, and the joy of the hypocrite but for a moment? Though his excellency mount up to the heavens, and his house yet, he shall perish forever like his own dung. They which have seen him shall say, where is he?
Hey, whatever happened to them? Remember them?
What's their names?
You know what I'm talking about? It was it was a people, right? Remember them? No, remember, and it was like some of them like might have red hair, blonde, you know. All right, they used to be. I'm telling you, I seen records of it somewhere. I saw them. It's like you gonna be like, I don't even remember them. Go ahead.
He shall fly away as a dream.
It's gonna be like just like a dream. Like some dreams you remember, but you know a lot of them dreams you be like, dang, what did I was dreaming about something. This is how you gonna be trying to remember them. Like, dang, it was something. I just can't.
I was mad.
I remember being angry. I remember I had a dream. I remember that dream. I dreamed I had a Benz. I was like 12 or something. I had a big Benz in the driveway. I lived with my mama. You know, I'm 12 years old. But I got this big Benz in the driveway, and I jumped up and I ran to look out the window to see what's in the driveway. It wasn't there. I'm like, what happened to my Benz? But I remember that dream. But no, like them other dreams, it'd be like, shh. That's how they gonna be. Shh. Go ahead.
Shall fly away as a dream and shall not be found. Yea, he shall be chased away as a vision of the night.
So now, go to Isaiah 29:5. This is it.
Yeah, 29.
We're gonna end it right here.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 29, verse 5. Moreover, the multitude of thy strangers shall be like small dust, and the multitude of the terrible ones shall be as chaff that passeth away. Yea, it shall be at an instant, suddenly. Thou shalt be visited of the Lord of hosts with thunder, and with earthquake, and with great noise, with storm and tempest, and the flame of devouring fire. And the multitude of all the nations that fight against Ariel, even all that fight against her, and her munition, and that distress her, shall be as a dream of a night vision. It shall even be as when a hungry man dreameth, and behold, he eateth, but he awaketh, and his soul is empty.
It's like you had a dream about some food, you was hungry, you was dreaming. You had to do some, I don't know what people like.
Filet mignon.
Filet mignon. You had to do some, what's the name of that thing I like? It's a, like some kind of steak, but it's wrapped in like some breading. I forgot the name of it.
London broil?
No, it's a, what they call that thing?
You said steak wrapped in some bread?
It's not a steak. It's like a filet, but it's wrapped in like,
Fajita?
Huh?
Fajita?
No. It's a, anybody know what I'm talking about? Beef Beef Wellington, that's that thing. I like those things. Hey, it's been a long time since I had one, but I like them things.
Never. A little bit too expensive.
You know, but whatever. You dreaming about whatever you want. Some Cocoa Krispies or whatever. You ate them in your dream, but you woke up and you were still hungry. That's how it's gonna be with them. It's like you gonna dream about them, and when you wake up, it's just, no. It's gonna be like, what happened? Man, a dream. It was some people. I know it. Come, I ain't just making this up. Go on. Go ahead.
Or as when a thirsty man dreameth, and behold, he drinketh, but he awaketh, and behold, he is faint, and his soul hath appetite. So shall the multitude of all the nations be that fight against Mount Zion.
So it's not gonna just be. I know we always focus on Esau, but it ain't just Esau. All these nations is getting this.
Make it so hard to serve God. And why when I say that I'm a Jew, it sound odd. For years I've been walking around saying that I'm a black man. I ain't saying that no more, it sounds wrong, man.
This is Bishop Nathaniel of Israel United in Christ. Please subscribe to our YouTube channels. Stay up to date with our latest events, music, and classroom lessons. IUIC plans to continue visiting different countries where this gospel has not been preached before. IUIC needs your help in pushing this truth. So join us. Subscribe to our Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and podcasts, and stay up to date with us. For more information, please visit www.israelunite.org.